Okay, let's get into it. For today's Duck Dive, we're unpacking the science of endurance training.
And this was actually prompted by a listener, Eric Wu.
Exactly. He's building his cardio foundation, and he's looking for the most suitable ratio between low intensity and high intensity exercise.
Right. And he specifically mentioned he's spending over 80% of his time in what he called Zone 2,
Which is a term you hear everywhere.
everywhere. And it's great that he's looking for what's suitable, not what's best. But before we could even talk about ratios, we have to tackle the term itself.
You mean zone 2?
Yeah. We really need to raise some critical awareness here. What even is Zone 2? And, why is it suddenly so popular?
I mean, for anyone who uses the term, it's usually that easy conversational pace.
That's the popular definition, yes. An effort where you could talk without gasping. It's often linked to, say, 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. But here's the thing, and this is the really critical point. That term, Zone 2, it is absolutely not a universally defined or recognized term in the exercise science community.
Wait, hold on. That's a huge claim. The entire online fitness world is buzzing about it. If it's not from science, where did it come from?
Our sources show it was coined by one specific person, a cycling coach named Inigo San Millan.
One person.
One person, which immediately tells you it's a niche concept, not some widespread academic consensus.
Okay, but hang on. That's a fair point. But if major athletes and top coaches are all using it, doesn't that practical evidence kind of, supersede academic terminology? Maybe the WHO just calls it something different.
That is exactly the right question to ask. It gets right to the heart of critical assessment. But when you look at the gold standard, the evidence is just overwhelming.
The gold standard being.
The World Health Organization. There are 2020 guidelines on physical activity. I mean, this is a 104-page document, 34 global experts looking at over 100 scientific papers.
And what did your deep dive find in that document?
The word zone, it's mentioned 0 times.
Wow. Not once.
Not once. It's completely absent. And what's more, when academics do try to define it, they struggle. The only paper on it has a question mark in the title. It's literally called, What is Zone 2 Training?
So even the experts are asking what it is.
Precisely. The 14 experts on that paper are actively questioning its definition.
Okay, so let's just throw the jargon out then. If zones are a distraction, what do the authoritative sources, the actual science, say we should be doing?
This is where it gets simple. The whole focus shifts to hitting specific amounts of moderate and high-intensity work.
For health benefits.
For significant health benefits. For adults, the WHO recommends 150 to 300 minutes of moderate-intensity aerobic activity a week. Or 75 to 150 minutes of high-intensity activity. Or, some equivalent mix of the two.
And that's just the cardio. We can't forget the strengthening part, which so many people do.
Absolutely. The guidelines are crystal clear. You also need muscle strengthening for all major muscle groups at least 2 days a week.
So bringing this all back to our listener, Eric, what does this mean for him, spending over 80% of his time at what he thinks is a low intensity?
It means his consistency is fantastic, which is the hardest part. But that 80% ratio, it suggests he has a lot of room to actually meet those official WHO volumes for moderate activity.
So he might not need more time, just a different kind of time.
Exactly. He could swap, say, 2 60-minute low-intensity sessions for 2 30-minute moderate sessions. That would change everything. The perfect ratio for him depends on his age, his goals, his fitness level, all of that.
So the ultimate truth is still that the best exercise is the one you'll actually stick with.
Always.
But the big takeaway here seems to be focus less on trendy terms like Zone 2 and more on just hitting those research-backed numbers for moderate and high-intensity work.
That's it. Forget the confusing names. Just ask yourself, did I get 150 minutes of purposeful moderate movement this week? And did I lift weights twice? That's the metric that matters.
And to leave you with one final thought, we often hear that exercise is the best medicine. Well, what does it say about the power of this specific advice of hitting those minimums, that just meeting them is linked to treating 26 different chronic diseases? Something to ponder on your next workout.